All right, hi. So this is our article on entitled Filipino Gen Z Learners in the Vuca World, a survey research on academic resilience. This is with Miss Alvie, of course, me, Henrilyn, and Doc Maricar from De La Salle University, Philippines. So this would be the flow of our presentation: introduction, methodology, results and discussion, conclusion, and recommendation. So for the introduction, academic resilience is the increased likelihood of academic success in the face of adversity in the environment caused by early traits, conditions, and experiences. Research indicates that there is a positive relationship between academic resilience and academic achievement. However, some research stated that academic resilience vary across ethnicity, age, and gender. Thus, the aim of the current study was to examine Filipino Gen Z's academic resilience in this VUCA world. This examined the level of academic resilience of Gen Z learners as to age, gender, and geographic entities or the urban and rural areas. So what is VUCA? The concept of VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, was created by students at the U.S. Army War College to describe the post-Cold War world. V is volatility. It is a change that is frequently occurring and occasionally unpredictable. Uncertainty is the inability to predict whether a particular event will have significant effects. Complexity is defined as having numerous interconnected components that together form a sophisticated network of data and processes. And ambiguity, it is the lack of clarity or awareness about situations. Resilient students maintain high levels of achievement, motivation, and performance despite the presence of stressful events and conditions that put them at risk of performing poorly in school and eventually dropping out. Generation Z, or the Gen Z, 10 to 25 years old, the most technologically advanced generation, is known for its tolerance of adversity. So the search for truth, both personal and communal, is the primary driver of consumption of this generation. The most taxing jobs, which did not exist before the early 2000s, are being performed by this generation. The economic growth is increasingly being fueled by Gen Z. The largest group of Filipino is the 40 million Gen Z, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic that spread throughout the world, Gen Z has gone through a lot of pains, adversities, and challenges. Moreover, this article, Manila Times 2002, stated that 68% of Filipino Gen Zs are reported to be feeling anxious or stressed compared to their global peers. Despite the fact that Gen Z is the largest segment of the Philippine population, research on this age group is extremely limited. So with the given state of our Filipino Gen Zs, this current study seeks to examine their academic resilience in this VUCA world. Specifically, this survey paper will answer the following research questions. What is the level of academic resilience among Gen Z learners across age, sexes, and geographic areas? Is there a significant relationship between the age group of Gen Z learners and their overall academic resilience? And for the last, is there significant difference in the overall mean academic resilience of Gen Z learners across age group, sexes, and geographic areas? So for the methodology, the researchers use a quantitative research design to examine the relationship among variables and also descriptive correlation to investigate geographic entities, the age and sex differences in academic resilience. And for our respondents, there were 73 Bachelor of Secondary Education major in science from a public school in Kalinga and 147 grade 12 STEM students from a private school in Metro Manila, Philippines. For our instrument to collect the data, a questionnaire with two distinct sections was used. For section 1, it is more of the demographic data. And for the section 2, it includes the academic resilience scale, or the RS30 by Cassidy, with a Cronbach's alpha of 0.90, exceeding levels normally considered acceptable. And next, this is a 30-item questionnaire that assesses students' perseverance, their reflecting and adaptive help seeking, and negative affect and emotional response. So participants responded to this 30 scale item on a 5-point Likert scale from very unlikely to likely after reading a short vignette. So this vignette was created to depict an example of academic adversity, resembling a significant academic challenge and struggle. The participants are asked to imagine themselves as the students in the vignette dealing with academic adversity. So this is the vignette. Imagine that you're the student in the following situation who is having trouble in the school, and answer the following statement. So you have received a failing grade for a recent assignment. The marks from other subjects were also worse than you expected. So as you aim to get a high grade because you have a clear career goals and don't want to disappoint your parents, the teacher's feedback is quite disheartening, but it includes ways you could improve it. So for the results and discussions, I just want to share you here the mean scores and standard deviation for individual items of our RS30. This is for the perseverance questionnaire. Next, here is the reflecting and adaptive help-seeking questionnaire. And next, this is the negative and emotional response. And this is the, I can say. So this table 4. So as we can see here, we have here the perseverance, reflective, adaptive help-seeking, and the negative affect and emotional response. So among the 3 subscales, or the 3 academic subscales, perseverance got the highest mean of 4.33. Reflective and adaptive help-seeking is the second with 4.25, and negative affect and emotional response got the lowest mean of 3.40. So next, this table 5. So this is as to age. So based on the mean scores, teenagers or the adolescents are the least resilient among the age group, which has a mean of 3.75. And these findings is similar to Rao and Krishnamurthy in 2018. And as to sex, based on the mean scores, the female learners, which has a 4.18 mean, are more resilient than males, which has 3.84 mean. And this is also similar to the findings of Mwangi and Ireri in 2017. And as to geographic location, based on the mean scores, urban learners, which has the 3.79 mean, are more resilient than rural learners. And next, this is the normality test on the age. So the results of the Shapiro-Wilk test assumes that, or this does not assume a normal distribution. And for the sex and location, the results of the Shapiro-Wilk test does not also assume a normal distribution, except for the male category. And to summarize the parametric test, Shapiro-Wilk test showed that the distribution of overall academic resilience departed significantly from normality for the age group, gender, and geographic location. And non-parametric tests using Kruskal-Wallis, Mann-Whitney U, and Spearman-Rowe were used to answer the research questions. So for the research question 1, what is the level of academic resilience among Gen Z learners across age groups, sexes, and geographic areas? So this is a table 8, mean ranking of Gen Z learners on academic resilience, basing on the different variables using Kruskal-Wallis and Mann-Whitney U test. So when we say, we have here from Anagha 2022, if we have below 110.5, it is low academic resilience. 111 to 114, this has average academic resilience, and 114, high academic resilience. So for the age group, we have 84, that is below low academic. Next is we have young adults, 108, low. Early 20s, 166, that is high. Male, we have 91, that is low. Female, we have 134, that is high. Urban, we have 88, that is low. And rural, we have 156, that is high in academic resilience. So based on this, the table shows that the young adults have low academic resilience, while it is in the early 20s group. Well, it is high, yes, in the early 20s group. The mean Whitney U test also shows that male and urban Gen Z learners are lowly academically resilient, while female and rural learners have high academic resilience. So for research question 2, is there a significant relationship between the age group of Gen Z learners and their overall academic resilience? So there was a moderate positive correlation or association between the age group of Gen Z learners and their overall academic resilience, which was statistically significant as displayed in this table. And for research question 3, is there a significant difference in the overall mean of our Gen Z learners across the different variables? So we have here the null. The distribution of academic resilience overall mean is the same across categories of age: teenagers, young adults, and early 20s. So it says here that the hypothesis is stating that there is no significant age group differences in the overall mean academic resilience among Gen Z learners, and was tested using the Kruskal-Wallis test. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected. And this is as to sex differences among Gen Z learners. We have the null. The distribution of academic resilience overall mean is the same across categories of sex. As displayed in Table 11, there is a significant difference between male and female learners, which is similar to the results obtained by Prabhu and Shekhar. And for this is as to geographical location, the distribution of academic resilience overall mean is the same across location. In Table 12, there is a significant difference of learners' academic resilience as to geographic location. And for our conclusion, it is observed that the age group, sex, and geographical regions account for significant differences in Gen Z learners' academic resilience. A moderately positive relationship exists between the age group and the perception of resiliency. Thus, it indicates that the level of academic resilience follows age. Adolescents are less academically resilient compared to young adults. Male and urban learners may need additional support from peers, parents, teachers, or school administrators. The findings show that it is critical to help Gen Z learners improve their perceived academic resilience. And for our recommendation, there must be an appropriate learning approach and teaching strategy to address the adverse circumstances that place Filipino Gen Z learners at risk, focusing on adolescents, males, and urban learners. Factors influencing students' academic resilience among age group, sexes, and cultural differences can be examined. More research is needed to find out why female and rural students are seen as having a high level of academic resilience than students who are less resilient. And this is for our references. And thank you for listening.